Let's go. Yeah, make it look easy. Hey, stand up guy on 10 toes. Big body pull up in.
Like, how much further can I go? How much more can I achieve?
Shut it down, yeah, they know. Running this game ain't a thing for me. I never
It's like movie-like, bro. Like, it was just amazing, you know? Because when you're a kid, it's the stuff you dream of. If you dunk on people and you try to block people, you're gonna get dunked on.
Watch how I move. Make it look easy.
But yeah, that dunk was crazy. I remember that dunk.
Black man taking up my head as a CC. That can't fail. I'm not the reason we
Be able to, like, picture my younger self seeing me experience this is like amazing.
Yeah, I'm drippy on the dirty. They can never count me out.
So how are things, man? How you feeling? Halfway through the season, feeling good?
Yeah, I mean, you know, ups and downs this year for sure as a team, myself individually as well, but I'm feeling good right now. Just happy to be healthy and competing.
Actually, I want to ask this question. How many people get your name wrong?
How many people get my name
Like
wrong?
your last name wrong?
Damn near everyone. It's funny because, like, I'll correct people. Like, broadcasters will come and ask me, like, how do you say your name? And they'll voice record it. And then when I watch the film and I'm listening, they always butcher it.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn near everyone butchers the last name.
How do you say it?
Muenkat.
And what's the most common one you hear?
Muenkat. Muenkat is probably the most.
Does that annoy you?
I mean, yeah, but I think it's just like a pronunciation thing. Some people just can't get it right, you know?
Well, how many times do you see a highlight of yourself on social media throwing down a huge dunk and then they have like the emoji moon and cat?
No, not often.
No?
They don't really do that. No.
I saw that once where I was like, oh, that's not how you say his name. But
yeah,
it's kind of cool when you
they
see
roll
it, like,
with
you
it.
jump into the moon.
They roll
right?
with it, yeah.
You can market it?
Yeah, for sure.
You're a Brampton guy. Played in Scarborough last year. Why'd you come to Winnipeg? What was it about Winnipeg?
I mean, TA's my guy. So he kind of pitched the whole idea to me last summer, you know. And I was, you know, interested in the whole, you know, everything they had going on. Obviously, with the love, support from the fans was obviously really appealing because, you know, I know my style of play appeals to, you know, viewers. So I knew that they would appreciate what I bring to the table and kind of just being able to play in that kind of atmosphere on a regular basis, you know, just was something I just wanted to do this summer.
So you look like you think back before that. Now you're going, let's say you're still in high school making that decision of where I'm going to go. Could you ever have dreamed the opportunities that you've had in Canada? And what I mean by that is, you know, you've had the opportunity. So you played in the States and you come back and you play at a Canadian university in Atlantic Canada. And then through that, you're introduced to the CEBL through, you know, which didn't exist, you know, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. So then you've got this opportunity where you're almost like an intern, where you get to be the coolest summer job ever. Mm-hmm. And now you're a pro. Like, you played overseas as well, but you get to play in Canada. I mean, could you ever have imagined the opportunities that you've had even in the last 5 years and being able to do all of this at home?
No. I think growing up at the time, especially because I started late, I didn't have all the information, you know, on basketball and the different opportunities that were available. And like, one thing I've learned through my personal journey and going through U Sports, and it's like, you know, if you have the talent and if you work hard, and the right doors will open, you know, and the right opportunities will present themselves, you know. Playing high major and you know, all these goals and aspirations that kids have, like 100% chase your dreams, you know, but if you don't get there, it doesn't mean it's the end. You know what I mean? Like, there's other ways to get to where you want to get to, you know, and that's the beautiful thing about it. But honestly, I never expected like any of this, you know, and it's just like, it's extra motivation, you know, when you can be like, damn, I didn't go the same route as a lot of guys, but I'm still able to make something of myself.
Did you go from StFX to the junior college, or vice versa? Did you go?
It's vice versa. So I did, out of high school, I went 2 years, did junior college, and then I went D1 for a year, and then I went to StFX.
Let's start with that. We'll track all the way back. So you're from Brampton.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in the Brampton scene? Like, what was it being a basketball player in Brampton? What was that experience like?
So I started playing like when I was 15, 16, so I got into the game kind of late. But you know, Brampton's known for having, you know, immense amount of talent in the basketball world, you know. So it was fun, it was competitive. You know, I spent most of my days and nights at the YMCA just hooping with my friends. You know, that was how we kept ourselves entertained. But Brampton was a special place to me because growing up, we moved around a lot. So, you know, it was good to move somewhere and have some sense of stability and actually get to build relationships with people. So, yeah, it was great, man. I really enjoyed my time growing up in Brampton. And, yeah, the city definitely holds a special place in my heart.
So, like, is it safe to say or fair to say that basketball was kind of what made that community? Like, that gave part of that stability, was having somewhere to go?
100%. But a lot of my friends are guys that I played soccer with as well.
Okay.
So, you know, because I had lived in Brampton prior, but it was only for a few months.
Okay.
You know, so when I moved back, I reconnected with some of the guys that I used to be friends with, so that was awesome. And then obviously, you know, basketball community and all that was just it was great. You know, it was a lot of kids playing basketball, and I met some great people, so it was just like fantastic.
So what else did you play then? Soccer? Like, were there any other sports?
No, it was just growing up. It was just soccer. Obviously, in school, like middle school and high school, you try out for all the different teams, but competitively, it was always just soccer and basketball for me.
Out of curiosity, I mean, you're a high-flying guy,
Yeah.
right? You're known for your leaping ability and your defense and stuff like that, but it's all that like high athletic stuff. How much did soccer help you with that? Was there any kind of crossover where it came to training, anything like that?
Most definitely. I think in terms of defensive ability, just being able to move my feet, definitely I attribute that to soccer, you know, and like having good strong legs and strong core and stuff, you know. So a lot of the stuff that I subconsciously or consciously learned through playing soccer helped me a lot when I transitioned to basketball.
So was there a point where you had to make a decision then? Like in terms of, I got to stick with soccer or basketball and choose one and go all in on one?
Yeah, so after middle school going into high school, that was like my last season playing soccer, and it was kind of a feeling of like, do I really want to do this anymore? You know, and I had kind of hit like a growth spurt, and my dad was always trying to push me to try, you know, basketball. Maybe it'd be for me, but I never really like took it serious. You know, I used to brush it off because soccer was the sport in my family, and my big brother played, and he was, you know, really good, and obviously, you know, I wanted to be like him and play like him, so it was tough. But, you know, when I got to high school, didn't play sports for a while, and then tried out for the basketball team. I honestly didn't think I'd make it, but I ended up making a team, and then I was like, from there, I was just like, maybe if I take this serious, like, it could be something that's for me.
Is there a moment where you kind of fall in love with the game? Like, is there any particular moment where you think, whether it was in a game or playing outside in the, you know, was there a moment? Like, for instance, I think, I mean, clearly you love to dunk, right? Was that, do you remember that first one that you did? Like,
yeah, I
was
remember
that
it, yeah, I remember it was after a practice, one random practice, and I just, you know, decided to give it a shot. And then I dunked the ball, and it was like everybody was losing their minds because, you know, at the time we were like 15, you know, so to us it's a big deal.
What's your favorite dunk of all time? Do you have a highlight? Do you remember the game where you put down a dunk when you were really feeling it?
Oh, yeah. This was my first year at StFX.
Yeah.
We had it was like our last home game of the season. And I got a rebound off a missed free throw, and I was running in transition up the right side of the court. And the big man was like, it's transition, so they just trying to match up. So he's like trying to stop the ball. So I hit him with like an in and out, and then I took one dribble, and like I took off, and I like dunked harder shit on him. He was a 7-footer too.
Oh, man.
So like I just remember that dunk. It was crazy. That's probably my favorite one. But I got a few. I feel like like nowadays, not many people jump.
Okay.
You know, obviously I don't know if it's because they see the film.
Yeah.
But like not a lot of people jump. So when people do jump, like I always say, like mad respect, because I'm the type of guy who will jump too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like dunking on people is fun. You know, and if you dunk on people and you try to block people, you're gonna get dunked on. So, you know, I probably somebody's favorite poster of all time. I'm probably the victim. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that dunk was crazy. I remember that dunk.
Okay, what's the worst dunk you've ever been dunked on? Have you ever been dunked on where one you're like, ooh, this one's gonna hurt. I don't want to see the replay on this one?
Like,
or even if it wasn't on you, was there ever in a game where you saw someone else dunk and you were like, oh man, either I can't do that or mad respect 'cause I know how difficult that is in game?
yeah, I mean, for my dunks, like, for me getting dunked on, it's tough because, like, when I always watch the film of me getting dunked on, I jump just as high as a person.
Yeah.
I just miss the ball. You know? It's never been like I'm there and they jump over me or like, so I've never like been embarrassed about getting dunked on, like I said, because I'll always jump. Like, it doesn't stop me from jumping.
Yeah.
But I do remember, I'm not going to say names because he's my boy. But I remember a game, bro, where he got dunked on so hard, like, and he like fell and hit his head on the ground, and it was just like, damn, like, that was gross. But he's my boy, so I can't react at the time. But like, it's funny because in the moment you're like, damn. But after, we would watch the video and like laugh with him about it because, you know, he's cool. But yeah, that was probably one of those ones where you're like, because you watch those NBA, sometimes the NBA games or highlights where like somebody will dunk and then you'll watch the opposing team's bench and they'll be like, they'll react.
I was just gonna say,
because it's like, damn, bro, like sometimes you can't fight it because some shit just be so gross that it's like, damn, I can't believe I just witnessed that. You know what I mean? So
I always wonder, that's got to be tough too when your team gets dunked on. You
yeah,
gotta
bro,
be supportive, but you're
because
like,
you gotta
oh.
like, it's tough, man. Like, it's like a few things that when your teammate does, you know, he's like, God damn. But you got to go up to him and be like, it's cool. Like, if he gets dunked on, crossed, if you air ball, miss a wide open layup, you got to go high five them and be like, bro, it's okay, next play. But you know that in their heads, they're like, damn, bro. And like, everybody's watching like, damn, he just airballed or hit the side of the backboard or he just got dunked on, you know? But
that's got to be harder in Winnipeg. Like at
the crowd,
CEBL level.
yeah.
Like
But
9,100 people, you get dunked on, or you dunk
in
on
general,
someone.
it's tough, and that's why like kudos to professional athletes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like in those moments, you have to be like, I still got a game to play,
Totally.
even though I ended up on a highlight reel.
Even the air
you know what
balls,
I'm saying?
right?
Yeah,
Like,
like
how many times you hit an air ball and then
yeah,
you hit
like,
an air ball, and
yeah,
you just got to
it's
live
like,
with that.
your mentality has to be like, I got to shoot the next one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like kudos again to professional athletes because that's the challenge, right? Is having that mental fortitude to be like, no, even if I mess up, like, I still have to do good the next play. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because I had a coach and he put it the best way possible. He's like, whether you hit the rim or air ball, a missed shot is a missed shot.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to make the next one. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and it's like, that's what it is. You know, like, you just have to be able to get yourselves and not get too into the fact that you ended up on somebody's highlight reel,
Yeah.
because it's part of the game at the end of the day.
Well, it's
You
just
know?
like getting blocked, right? I remember that was
Exactly.
one of the things when I was in high school. Like, our coach always said, if you get a big block or you get blocked and everybody's going crazy and they're flexing, whatever, he's like, we still have possession.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, so they might send it to the moon, but if they touched off them last, he's like, the worst part is when it goes off, like, you get blocked, hits you, slaps,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it goes out.
That's
He's like, I
tough.
lost possession
That's
too,
kind of
right?
tougher to recover from.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's like, yeah, it's just like they say, next play mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, like, getting dunked on is obviously not fun. But like, when it happens, you got to deal with it.
Well, you're dunking on people.
You know?
Easier for you to say too. 'Cause you
Yeah,
dunk
for
on
sure.
petty
That's what I'm
people.
saying. Like, for me, like, if I get dunked on, it's like cool because, like, odds are I could probably dunk on you too.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you ever have someone pop in, like, you know, on Instagram or even a text just being like, yo, I saw you on TSN the other night, or I saw your highlight on the CEBL or Sea Bears, whoever's Instagram
Yeah.
account. Like, do you find there's more exposure now that you're playing in Canada, that some of the people that you're closer to or might not have seen for a while are able to see what you're doing and kind of, you know, celebrate what you've accomplished?
Honestly, like, I'm grateful for my support system because I feel like they've been around my whole journey. You know, like, the same people have been showing love since I went to junior college and since I was in high school. So like, them keeping up with me obviously has been made easy because of social media, you know, and it's obviously social media is growing and, you know, like, more athletes are getting into the whole content stuff and, you know, trying to expose themselves more. So it's obviously a lot different now than it was when I was younger, but yeah, I feel like everybody who's ever supported me has always kept tabs with what I've been doing and what's been going on. You know, obviously because I'm also active on social media. So, yeah, I don't think I've ever had to, like, wonder if people are, you know, supporting me or if now they're supporting me more because for me, the people that have been around have always been around.
Who are some of those people in your inner circle, and like what role do they play?
Obviously, my parents, my big brother, my younger sister, probably my biggest fan, She watches every game. If she misses a game, she goes back and watches it, All my friends that I grew up playing with at the YMCA, the guys I met in junior college, guys I met throughout high school, and it's so many people. Like, I've just been blessed to meet so many great people and be impacted by so many people. So to try and pinpoint every single person is hard, because I feel like the impact that every individual had at a specific moment was so important, for me to say this person had more of an impact than this person is kind of tough.
Okay, that's totally fair. Is there a moment in your career, because now you're still pretty early in your pro career, but is there a moment maybe in a transition phase where you're getting used to a new game? I mean, you just played overseas where you're getting new players, new rules, things like that. Is there a moment, even if it was off the court, that you had to depend on these people to kind of get you through that, like a hard time, whether it was performance on the court or just getting used to life off of it?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm so blessed because I feel like for my first year, my situation that I ended up in overseas was, the perfect situation for me, especially it being my first year. Big credit to my head coach, and assistant coach. They have a ton of experience, and me going overseas is obviously a huge leap from U Sports, especially for a guy like me who's so physical and plays physical. Obviously guys aren't as big in U Sports as they are overseas. So I had to kind of change my game in a way, I had to be able to shoot the ball better, make better reads, think the game better because the game is faster and stuff like that. But my coaches had patience with me. They never once harped on me or made me feel like lesser because I was making mistakes. But, he got on me and let me know that, if I keep making these same mistakes, then I could end up in trouble. So they had immense amount of patience. I was surrounded by great group of guys, and I wasn't shy. Like, I would ask questions, so like my situation was amazing.
When you go through an international experience, how much do you, I guess, understand maybe the global basketball community? Is there a sense of, because I'm sure when you're going there, there's dudes from obviously Europe, like when you're in Germany, there's probably a few Americans, maybe some other Canadians, but is there that instant bond of just like, we're all kind of here doing that same thing, like that bond of basketball, or is it a little more than that when you're trying to get together with new teammates?
I think that bond is the foundation, like, it's funny that you asked that because like I remember vivid conversations with my teammates where we'd sit down and be like, yo, like, we're such a small percentage of athletes in the world, and like each individual on this team right now came from whatever place they came from, went through their journey, and like they're here and now we're interacting, so it's just awesome. Like, we're all just like, damn, like, we're here, professional basketball players. We get to hoop, and get paid to do it. So it was just awesome to kind of share that experience with guys because, again, I had other rookies on my team as well, so being able to talk to them about it and be like, damn, like, look at us, look at what we're doing, and it was just amazing.
Now, you shift over, like, we'll look at the pro side of things now. We talk about the basketball lifestyle. Yeah. I'm talking about all of it, right? Like, the practice and the sleep schedule, the travel, the fashion, the people, everything about it. When you look at being a pro basketball player, what is the most challenging part of being a pro?
Time management, I would say, It's easy to get, like, super comfortable and lazy because you only practice like maybe 3 or 4 hours of your day are allocated to your craft, like mandatory, I would say. If you get your own work in, then it's a little bit different. But, you spend a lot of time in a day just chilling, and you could be doing so much more. So just like finding time to do other things, because like I said earlier, like basketball is only a small fraction of our lives, so you want to make sure that you're experiencing all these other things. Like for me, getting into fashion was something that I decided to do because like, why not? You know, like, I have all this time, like, I have all these interests, like, you know, art, photography, like, just all these things that I find cool or interesting. Like, why not try and look into them and maybe dip my foot in and test it out for myself a little bit, you know? So
is that the best part of it now? Because like you look at even just since you got to Winnipeg, you know, there's been some endorsement opportunities. You know, you're getting more of a profile here in a community that you know weren't from or hadn't lived in before this. Is that kind of the best part of this, where you maybe opens up those opportunities to test different waters, whether it's videography, photography, things like that?
100%. You know, like you said, the community here has been super resourceful and helpful. And, you know, there's a lot of people who do a lot of different things. Obviously, you know, the Collab shop, like, I'm in here all the time, just, you know, sometimes just sifting through things, you know, and it's awesome to just be able to kind of express yourself in a different way, you know, and the cool thing about, like, you know, clothes and fashion and all this stuff is, like, you can find so much inspiration from other people, you know, and it's awesome when you can wear some stuff and somebody can tell you, like, damn, like, bro, like, that fit is fire, or I like your shoes, I like your pants, etc., you know. So it's definitely awesome. Like, the community out here and the people out here have shown immense amount of love, so it's definitely made it, like, you know, more enjoyable.
So let's shift to that. Obviously, the game day fits are huge now, right? Every time you're walking through that tunnel, you've got the snaps coming out, and they're putting it out on social media.
Yeah.
How much do you enjoy that aspect of it? Like, you know, having to come in as a pro and knowing that there's going to be cameras on you. Do you relish in that a little bit? Trying to put your best fit?
It's fun, man. It's cool. Like, I think, again, it's a way for players to express themselves. Like, you know, like, why not put some stuff on? Like, if you got clothes, like, you got to wear them. Yeah. You know, so why not wear them whenever you get the opportunity to? And especially because this last season in Germany, I'd always wear my tracksuit to games. Okay. You know, and I've always wanted to, like, dress up, but it was like, you just got to do that stuff, you know, like, just do it. So I look forward to game days and, like, the flicks and stuff, because it's just awesome, you know, to put some stuff on and then get a cool picture. And then, like, when you post it, all your friends are like, you know, the fit is fire. So that stuff is awesome.
Boost the confidence.
Yeah, 100. Yeah. Boost the ego for sure.
That's awesome.
For sure.
Well, okay, let's talk about that, because now you're in Germany. Like, is that something? Is it to the same degree out there, or is it more very much basketball tracksuit focused kind of thing? Like, how does the style change, I guess, for a basketball player there that comes up in that area as opposed to, say, here in Canada?
I think out here, obviously, you know, North American culture, or the basketball culture in North America, is heavily influenced by hip-hop, you know, rap music. Out there, it's a little different. You know, Europeans dress a little different, more sleek, slim stuff. But there are, you know, I think fashion is fashion, and whatever you're into. And, you know, there are a lot of people over there who dress similar to how I dress. And, you know, I found a lot of inspiration for the way I dress overseas. And, you know, it was... the tracksuits and stuff was just my thing. Like, I just put on whatever and just go to the game, you know. But you got to enjoy it, man. You got to enjoy the whole, like you said, the whole experience of being a basketball player, because it's not just basketball. Obviously, keep basketball your main focus, but enjoy yourself, man. Like, you only get this opportunity once, you know, and you don't know how many years you have to do something like this. So why not, you know, make the most of it and just have fun.
So with that, do you have a staple? Is there an element to David Muenkat's game day fit that, you know, makes it yours, or you need to have, or like when you're looking at other people's fits, like, they need that to really amp up the fashion on the way into the tunnel? Because you like the throwback stuff, right? Like, you wear a lot of vintage stuff, the old windbreakers and you know, graphic tees. Is like, that seems to be where your style is. Is that kind of a key element for you, making sure you got that old graphic tee or whatever?
Yeah, so I'm obviously, from, if you look at the way I dress, a lot more into the streetwear side of fashion, you know. But I think, you know, one thing I've learned is, like, the most important thing is how you feel in your clothes. You know, so not everybody dresses the same, but some people, I think, I can be like, yo, you look good, but I would never wear what they're wearing. You know what I mean? It's just like, they're wearing it with confidence, and, you know, it's just, I gotta show them love because they put that shit on. So So for me, a staple, just streetwear, man. I'm a really big streetwear guy. now that I have more experience with the whole dressing up thing, I'm trying to, try different, ways to dress and stuff, which obviously at first, like, you're not going to be comfortable dressing a different way.
Yeah.
But you just got to, put yourself out there, because you never know. And the most important thing is how you feel in your clothes. And when you feel good, man, people will notice because you'll just walk around like somebody who feels good in their clothes.
Well, dude, I wear an NBA Jam Boston Celtics NBA championship shirt. Of course.
Are you a Boston fan?
Of course I feel good.
Damn it.
Big Celtics fan, so. And I got the Tatums to go with it.
Yeah.
So I'm all Celtics.
Die hard.
So when you're with the expression of that, when you're the shoes, the clothes, how important is that for you to be able to express yourself through the fashion, 'cause especially with, you can't do much with uniforms in terms of, team gives you the shorts, and you have to have certain colors if you're wearing an undershirt, whatever. So how important is it to you? How much do you enjoy that, where you can kind of go into different shoes and get the colors that you want or whatever it is? Do you put a lot of thought into that?
Oh, 100 for sure. But even on court swag matters to me.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because like there's a saying, like, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just being comfortable and like in your own clothes, like I said earlier, and like the shoes and stuff, it helps you like get more comfortable. You know what I mean? And for me personally, growing up, like, we weren't the poorest, but we weren't the wealthiest. So sometimes my parents couldn't get me all the clothes or shoes that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm in a position where I make my own money and good money, and I can buy the clothes and shoes that I want, so it's like, why not, and I'm able to express myself in the way that I want to express myself, whereas, before when you're, college and stuff, you're kind of limited because you're not, you don't have as much access to funds and stuff. But yeah, man, I think it's so fun to be able to, like, just be loud with the stuff you wear. Like,
you know what the best part about growing up is? Not growing up. Because then when you're grown up and you're not grown up here and you get to get all the stuff that you couldn't get as a kid, that's the best part, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. All the shoes you didn't get, all the games, whatever it
Exactly.
is. It's like, it's my money. I can do what I want with it.
It's awesome, man. Like, just having that freedom, and again, being able to buy things that you like and you want to wear, and it's just awesome, bro. Like, I'm just having so much fun with it.
Do you have we'll put this in two categories. Do you have a favorite shoe on court, but also off court, like on the street? So one you like to wear just for style walking around, the other one, whether it be style, comfort, practicality, whatever it is on the court.
Off court, my favorite shoe, bro, would have to be Jordan 3s. I really like Jordan 3s.
Colorway? Do you have a favorite colorway?
The white cements for sure.
Okay.
I think those ones are crazy. The breads are tough too. Obviously, mainstream kicks, but I just find them so aesthetically, like, pleasing. On court, I usually go for, obviously, like, comfortability is the most important thing.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you see the shoes I wear, they're always loud and colorful, because that's how I play. So I'd have to say right now I'm really big on the LeBron 20s, just because they're so comfortable. Like, I feel like they were made for my feet,
Yeah.
And they come in so many cool colors. That's what I was wearing in Germany. I had like 3 different pairs, and then I got 1 pair now. But right now I'm starting to shift over to the Kobe wave.
Okay.
Obviously because they just got so many flavors. So
when you look at the different basketball eras in terms of the style, on court and off court, is there an era that sticks out to you, whether it's your era or an era of the past, like whether it was like the 1980s style of play or the style uniforms, way guys were walking in, 90s, 2000s now?
I feel like I like the era that I'm watching right now. I feel like more players are starting to get into the fashion thing and, wear actual clothes and different fits and styles and stuff. But it goes without saying, like, if you know anything about the game and culture, like, all that credit goes to Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's the guy who really started putting that shit on, like
Yeah.
on the sidelines. You know, he had the hat backwards and the headbands and the do-rags and the big jerseys and the, you know what I'm saying? Like, AI is a big, huge influence. So when I look at fashion and hip-hop and the whole basketball culture, like, you gotta, you know, do your history and research on AI, because and a lot of the stuff that, you know, is in style today is stuff that he probably would have had on back in the day. So, you know, definitely AI from the early 2000s. But I'm a real big fan of a lot of the stuff that guys are doing now. Like, obviously, you know, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, you know,
Canadian.
he be putting that stuff on. So, and you know, out here we got guys like Ruggsy. You know, Ruggsy, big fashion guy. He be rocking that stuff. So
Ruggs in the background.
you know, yeah. So
We got an audience today.
you know, it's like there's a lot of guys out here in the whole basketball world, like not just the NBA, you know, who are into the fashion and using it as an outlet to express themselves, and you know, it's awesome to see.
So one thing I'll give the CEBL credit for too is they really
100.
do push that other side off court stuff, right? It's
For
not just
sure.
the on court highlights, but pushing that sense of style. And you're right. I don't think you can have that conversation without Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he's the one that really established what the culture has become, but also I think what it was, but connecting it to the pro world, right?
100.
Where it kind of married it all together, and it also unlocked a huge economic boost too for brands and stuff like that. That's for sure. When you look at your influences, then let's start with actually growing up. Who are your favorite players growing up?
Favorite players growing up, big Raptors guy.
Yeah,
I gotta, you know, Vince Carter. I was at the time he was playing, I wasn't really into basketball, but like just watching him like fly in the air was crazy, you know. And then DeMar DeRozan, man, like, cause he was there from when I started getting into basketball. He was the main guy on the Raptors, and they were really bad at the time.
Yeah.
But he always stood out to me, you know, and so heavily influenced. And even my nickname, like, you know, my nickname is Debo.
Yeah.
You know, and his nickname is Debo. So, you know, DeRozan for sure, man, is just big influence on, you know, everything I wanted to do with basketball.
Are those the guys that you kind of modeled your game after when you were growing up, like at least trying to?
You know, it's funny, like, I never really had someone that I was like, I want to play like this person.
Yeah.
I just wanted to figure out how to play, you know, and I think the best thing you can do as a player is try to mimic different things from different people, you know, because everybody's really good at different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to be like, sit here and be like, I wanted to be like this guy. But just watching so many different players and the stuff they did, like, I just tried to mimic as much as I possibly could, as best as I possibly could.
So now we look at it from what you've accomplished so far. You've got a long way to go, but let's focus on what you've done so far. What are you most proud of that you've accomplished in basketball, or maybe just in life in general so far?
That's a great question. This whole journey has been an experience, you know, and I think the last few years have been really special for me in general, especially the last two, like my last year at StFX and my year I just did overseas in Germany, you know, with StFX, just being able to bring that program back to what it was before, you know, and having all those eyes on the program and being able to compete at a high level with the team that we had and being able to go to the national finals. And, you know, obviously we would have preferred to win, but just being on that stage in front of all those fans and competing, you know, was amazing. And obviously all the individual accolades from, you know, male student athlete of the year to U Sports defensive player of the year to AUS first team and AUS defensive player of the year, you know, and being an all-Canadian and all this stuff, like, that was just amazing, you know, because growing up, I never really was, you know, acknowledged for my individual achievements. Like, I never got, like, the individual awards. So to be able to have a year like that where I got so many of them in one go was just awesome. And then going to Germany to a team like Frankfurt, you know, with so much basketball history in Germany, like, and them, you know, getting relegated to the Pro A and everybody wanting them to get back to the BBL, you know, and being on such a young team. And we had so many ups and downs during the season where it got to a point where people didn't even think we'd make it out the first round of the playoffs, you know? So then to hear that buzzer go off and be like, damn, like, we're moving back up was amazing. You know, to have that on my resume in my first year was just, it's so special. And it's like the group that I was with at the same time, like, made it even more amazing, you know? So just these last 2 years and everything I've accomplished, I've just been so, like, I'm nothing but grateful for the experiences I've had.
Yeah.
And it's made me, like, excited for the future, you know, because it's like how much further can I go? How much more can I achieve? You know, whether individually or with others. So, like, it's just been, these last 2 years have been crazy, man, and beautiful. So,
Well, I'd say too, like, that's one thing we don't fully understand in North America, right? Like, that must have been a cool experience
Yeah.
too, like the relegation and promotion of sports, where you're not just guaranteed your spot because you've got an owner in a league. Like,
man, it makes it like every game means so much more. You know, like, it's different. The atmosphere was insane.
we've got to earn your spot. Right?
Yeah,
like,
you know,
you're
and,
not
like,
just guaranteed anything.
man, that playoff atmosphere was, it's like movie-like, bro. Like, it was just amazing, you know, because when you're a kid, it's the stuff you dream of, like the packed arenas and the loud crowds and the down-to-the-wire games. Like, all of that means, like, to experience that
Yeah.
and to, like, be able to, like, picture my younger self seeing me experience this is, like, amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the child inside of me is, like, satisfied. Obviously, I still have so much ambition and so many things I want to accomplish with basketball, but in terms of my first year and the stories you hear of first year overseas and the experiences guys have, because not everyone has a great
it's not all
experience.
good,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me to have the experience that I have, it's just like I'm grateful for it. Like, it's just been awesome.
Do you still have your fan inside of you? Like, do you still feel like a basketball fan, or do you kind of lose that as you become a pro or it becomes work?
Honestly, bro, that's an amazing question, because honestly, I have that debate, you know, with my friends and obviously myself, but I feel like I lost it a little bit at one point, you know, but watching the game overseas brought it back.
Okay.
Because I don't know how to explain it, but it's so different. You know, like, the atmosphere, like, NBA games, like, there's some games where you can tell that the dudes don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where guys sit out and maybe they're injured, maybe they're not, but, you know, load management and all these things.
Yeah.
And the competitiveness is not always there, and maybe it's different because players are so much better, you know, but, like, overseas, man, like, it's a very, like, team-oriented style of play, you know, and you watch these EuroLeague games where people in the crowd don't sit for the entire 40 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know if you watch the EuroLeague, but there's this team called Partizan, and they had a stretch where they lost, like, a few games back to back to back. But, bro, the fans didn't leave the arena. Like, nobody left early to go get to their cars. Like, they were in the stadium chanting for the players as if they won the game.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? And
That's cool.
me seeing something like that for me is like, if you're a player playing for a support system like that, like, you'd run through a wall for those type of fans. You know what I mean? So, like, that, just seeing that difference in the passion that they have for the game and the style of play being different brought the love that I had for basketball, you know, back. So,
Where's one place you'd wish to play? Like, if you had a chance that you might have seen, whether it's or heard about from guys playing there, if seen it on social media, is there a place? Like, I always think, like, I want to go watch a game in Serbia. I want to go watch a game in Greece. Like,
Yeah.
it just looks so intense. Is there
no,
a spot where you're like,
all those places are awesome, you know, and I would love to get to experience all of them playing at the high level. But if you were to ask me, like, where I want to play, NBA aside, you know, Real Madrid, bro.
what is it about Real Madrid?
Like, again, playing soccer, I loved Real Madrid.
Okay.
And then when I found out they had a basketball team, I thought that was so cool. And, like, the fact that their basketball team is as dominant as their soccer team was just awesome, you know? And on top of that, one of my boys, Xavier Wrathan-Mays, just signed for Real Madrid, you know? So seeing somebody you know playing for a team that you admire is just insane. And it makes you feel like it's attainable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Real Madrid just, like, it's the best team outside of the NBA in the world.
And the last question, what's left for you to achieve now? You've got a whole lot of career ahead of you, but what is that big goal that you want to achieve where it's like, I'm going to hang my hat on that one when it's all said and done?
I think for me and for the child, inside of me, that who I was, like, I want to play in the NBA. That's my ultimate goal, But more than that, I want to play somewhere where I'm just loved and appreciated. Because like I said, my style of play, like I'm not a 20 points per game scorer. You know what I mean? Like I'm a high flyer, defensive, rebounding, hustle, heart kind of guy. And if I can go somewhere where I'm playing at a high level and they appreciate me for everything that I do, like they do here in Winnipeg, that's the ultimate goal for me, man. And like EuroLeague would be so fun to play in. But just the highest level, man. I think I've learned along this journey not to kind of limit myself, Obviously set a goal for yourself and do your best to achieve it, but there are other things, other routes that are just as amazing to experience, So, I'm just seeing where it takes me, where basketball takes me. I'm going to do my part, work hard, stay healthy, God willing, and wherever the basketball takes me is wherever I'm going to go.
Nice.
For sure.
David Muenkat, not Mooncat.
Great pronunciation.
Thanks for
my
dropping
guy.
by the shop,
Appreciate you for having me, bro.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.